Here is the rewritten version. Imagine watching someone climb a mountain in real time. Not slowly, not stumbling, but with a quiet, almost terrifying certainty, like they were built for exactly this. That is what following Alexandra Eala has felt like over the past 12 months. And if you recently saw her name sitting at number 45 in the world after being at number 29 just 2 weeks ago, I completely understand if your heart sank a little. The Filipino tennis community felt it. Social media felt it. For a brief moment, it felt like the dream had hit a wall. But here is the thing, and this is exactly why you need to stay with me. That drop is not what it looks like. Not even close. Once you understand what actually happened, you're not going to feel worried. You're going to feel excited, because the math, the calendar, and the sheer talent of this young woman are all pointing in the exact same direction. And that direction is up. What actually happened? Let us go back to March 16th, 2026, because that date matters. That was the day Eala reached a career-high ranking of world number 29, accumulating 1,525 ranking points. A 20-year-old from the Philippines sitting inside the top 30 of professional women's tennis on the entire planet. Players who had been grinding on tour since their mid-teens, veterans who had won Grand Slams and spent years inside the top 10, Eala was right there alongside them. The celebrations were real, and they were deserved. Then Monday, March 30th arrived. The new rankings dropped. Number 45. Down 16 spots. That stings. But here is where we need to slow down and actually understand what happened instead of simply reacting to a number on a screen. The WTA ranking system runs on a 52-week rolling window. Every point you earn at a tournament stays on your record for exactly 1 year, then it disappears. If you made a deep run at a major event last year and earned hundreds of points, you now have to match that result this year just to stay level. Fall short, and you lose ground even if you played brilliantly. That is the system. Cold, mechanical, and completely indifferent to the quality of your tennis. Now here is where Eala's story becomes genuinely fascinating. At the 2025 Miami Open, she walked in as a wild card ranked around 140 in the world, and went on one of those runs that reminds you why you fell in love with this sport. She defeated multiple seasoned professionals, including Grand Slam champions, reached the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event as a wild card, and earned 390 ranking points that put her name on the international tennis map permanently. Fast forward to Miami 2026. She enters as the 31st seed, a legitimate top 30 professional. She beats Laura Siegemund in 3 sets. She defeats Magda Linette in the 3rd round. Then she runs into Karolina Muchova in the round of 16 and loses 6-0, 6-2. That scoreline looks rough. But Muchova was playing some of the best tennis of the entire tournament. Losing to a red-hot top 15 player in the 4th round of a WTA 1000 event is not a crisis. It simply is not. The problem was not the result. The problem was what the result replaced. When the computer updated her ranking, it deleted those 390 semifinal points from 2025 and replaced them with 120 points for the 2026 round of 16. Net loss, 270 points. Her total fell from 1,525 to 1,255. That is the entire explanation. No injury. No form collapse. No drama behind the scenes. Simply the calendar doing what the calendar always does, catching her in one of the most brutal spots the WTA schedule can produce. Defending a miracle run from the year before. Why everything is about to flip, but now, right now, is when this story takes a sharp and genuinely thrilling turn. Because everything that just worked against her is about to work completely in her favor. The hard court season is done. Indian Wells and Miami are behind her. The sport is shifting onto clay. This matters for 2 significant reasons. First, clay is where Eala's game truly comes alive. She was shaped by the Rafa Nadal Academy in Spain, an institution built on the philosophy that there is no shortcut, no replacement for hours spent grinding on red dirt, learning to construct points with patience and ferocity in equal measure. Her heavy topspin forehand, her left-handed angles, her ability to outlast opponents in extended exchanges, all of it plays beautifully on a slow clay surface. Second, and this is the part that should make every Filipino tennis fan genuinely excited, her points defense calendar over the next several months is almost completely empty. Let that sink in. After Miami last year, Eala went to Madrid and lost in the second round. She went to Rome and lost in the first round. She went to Roland Garros and lost in the first round. She went to Wimbledon and lost in the first round. Before you interpret that as discouraging, understand what it actually means for where she stands today. Those results earned her almost no points, which means the WTA computer has almost nothing to subtract from her record during the entire clay and grass season. Every match she wins from here until July is pure gain. The runway is completely clear, and she is carrying all the fuel. The pressure other players feel, that she does not to appreciate how special this window is, you have to understand how most top players experience the clay season. They are burdened. They carry the weight of big points from the previous year, knowing that one early exit can send their ranking tumbling. It adds a quiet, suffocating layer of psychological pressure that can strangle a player's game without them even realizing it. Eala walks into this stretch with none of that. She is free. She is hunting, not defending. And the form she brings into this clay season is not the form of a player who needs rest or recovery. It is the form of a player genuinely hitting her stride. Her 2026 season started in Auckland at a WTA 250 event, semi-finals in both singles and doubles. Moving beautifully, striking cleanly, winning with a confidence that looked visibly different from even 6 months earlier. Then Abu Dhabi, a WTA 500 quarterfinals. Then Dubai, a WTA 1000 quarterfinals, including a composed, controlled victory over Jasmine Paolini, a top 10 player. Not a fluke. A masterclass. Then Indian Wells, 4th round. Then Miami, round of 16. That is a sustained run of consistent, deep performances across an entire season opener. That is not luck. That is a player who has genuinely improved, who has done the work, and who is ready for everything that comes next. The schedule that changes everything immediately after Easter. Eala heads to Linz, Austria for the Upper Austria Ladies, a WTA 500 event from April 6th to 12th. She has never played this tournament before, which means every point she earns there goes directly on top of her current total with nothing coming off. If she reaches the quarterfinals, the points stack. Semifinals, more points stack. And this is a player who has been reaching the quarterfinals or better at virtually every tournament she has entered this year. Then Stuttgart, Germany. The Porsche Tennis Grand Prix from April 13th to 19th. Stuttgart is stacked, typically drawing almost the entire top 10, so Eala will likely come through qualifying. But here is what people consistently underestimate about that situation. Qualifying matches are points. They are rhythm. They are extra time on court getting comfortable on the surface before the main draw begins. Players who come through qualifying at major events often carry serious momentum into the opening rounds. Then comes Madrid, the Mutua Madrid Open, one of the biggest clay events on the entire WTA calendar, starting April 21st. Last year, Eala lost in the second round. She is defending almost nothing. She walks in with a nearly clean slate at a WTA 1000 event where a deep run can add hundreds of points in a single week. A quarterfinal in Madrid alone could push her back close to, or past, that number, 29 ranking. Then Rome, where again, she has almost nothing to defend. Then Roland Garros, the French Open, the most prestigious clay court grand slam in the world. She lost in the first round last year. 0 points to defend. Maximum opportunity available. The math that should excite you, she sits at 1,255 points right now. Getting back to number 29 requires somewhere around 1,500 points, depending on how other players' results develop. She needs to find roughly 250 to 300 additional points over the next couple of months. A single semi-final at Linz does that. A quarterfinal in Madrid does that. These are not outrageous expectations for a player of her quality entering a stretch of the calendar where she has virtually no pressure, a game perfectly suited to the surface, and form that has been genuinely world-class all season. The slingshot effect, the number 45 ranking right now, is not a reflection of who Alexandra Eala is as a tennis player. It is a snapshot of a mathematical moment, a system updating its ledger, temporarily understating her actual standing in the sport. Think of it like a slingshot being pulled back. That tension, that sudden drop, that backward motion. It is not regression. It is the prelude to something being launched forward. That is exactly what is happening right now. The WTA ranking system, the very same mechanism that just pushed her down to 45, is about to start rewarding her week after week as she collects fresh points with nothing falling off the back end. And the person collecting those points is not a player riding a hot streak and hoping it holds. She is a player who at 20 years old has already defeated 3 top 10 players in her career, reached the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event as a wild card, and trains on clay with the same intensity and methodology that has produced some of the greatest baseline players in the history of the sport. Her left-handed forehand is a weapon very few players on the women's tour possess. Her two-handed backhand has become significantly more reliable over the past year. Her footwork on clay is natural and fluid in a way that genuinely sets her apart. When you place all of that in the context of what is waiting for her over the next 3 months, the conclusion is not optimistic. It is logical. It is the most sensible outcome given everything the numbers and the form are telling us. How she responded after her Miami exit, Eala spoke with a kind of warmth and perspective that tells you everything about her character. She talked about how much she loves that tournament, how completing the full Sunshine Double in the same calendar year was something she could feel genuinely proud of. She was not devastated. She was not shaken. She was grounded and already looking forward. That is not an accident. That is a 20-year-old who has been tested by real pressure, real expectations, and real defeat, and who has come through all of it with her confidence and her love for the game completely intact. The Filipino tennis community has given her something extraordinary, a wall of noise and support and passion that follows her to every corner of the world. The flags in the stands at Miami, the chants in Dubai. That support is real, it matters, and it is growing because Eala is giving people a reason to follow women's tennis who had never previously paid attention to it. So when you see that number 45 and feel the instinct to worry, redirect that energy. Put it into anticipation instead. The clay season is here. The schedule is perfectly aligned. The form is undeniable. The defense burden is almost non-existent. Eala enters this stretch as free as any player on tour, which is an almost unfair advantage when you are carrying the talent, the training, and the hunger she clearly possesses. She is going to compete in Linz, Stuttgart, Madrid, Rome, and Paris. At each stop, she will add points with a fraction of the pressure most players around her ranking are managing. Getting back to number 29 is not a question of whether. It is purely a question of when. And when you watch her sliding into a backhand on the red clay in Madrid, or grinding out a third set under the Paris sky at Roland Garros, remember this moment. Remember the drop to 45. Remember how it felt wrong. How it seemed to contradict everything the tennis world had watched her build. Because that contrast between the temporary number and the permanent trajectory is the real story of Alexandra Eala. The ranking will catch up to the player. It always does.